Attention. The movie guys love movies. Any comments made about how something's so big and fearsome that the mere sight of it is enough to send people screaming into the streets are purely for entertainment purposes only. Isn't that right, John Hamm's dick?
Let's take it a little slower. I don't want to wake up Brenda.
Hi, Ted. How's your penis?
Oh, it's not bad.
All right, good.
Leading with a dick joke.
I heard it makes that noise.
That was actual audio
of John Hamm's dick.
Now,
we originally wrote this joke as John Hamm's cock, but Paul had to explain to me Ham's cock sounded like somebody's name.
Yeah, or
John
it sounds like a food.
I'm like, who's John Hamm's cock?
But John Hamm's cock could
Father of our
sign his
country.
own signature.
Yeah,
It would be the biggest.
Yeah.
It would definitely be the biggest.
Paul, I believe I said during the writing meeting to get the audience's attention right at the top of the show.
Next time.
This is what we came up with.
It takes too long sometimes. I have to say now, is Brenda his ex-wife, his daughter, another person he's sleeping with? Because there's so many. I mean, he could be sleeping with someone next to his wife in that movie,
Exactly.
in that show, so I can't remember.
Yeah, there's just... Karen was watching... I watched Mad Men. I'm in the middle of season 3, but Karen kept watching without me. She's in season 5. I walk in, she's watching the show, and it's a girl yelling at Don Draper because he left something behind at her place. I'm like, this is what was happening 2 seasons ago. That's what this guy does.
The same story, different woman.
Yeah. Hey, we are Sex Bob Bomb, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff. Welcome to the Movie Showcast, everybody, part of the vast and sprawling Movie Guys empire, ground zero for all things movies and comedy. We bring the two together right here on our show every week with jokes, rants, sketches, characters, bits, special guests, and more as we broadcast from the Admiral's Club just a bit outside Burbank Airport. Specifically, this is show number 50.
Whoa!
Hey! Wow, exciting!
Halfway to syndication.
Yeah. They don't stop making movies, so we don't stop making comedy shows about movies, which means you can get a new show every week. Basically, search The Movie Guys anywhere you like on the World Wide Webs, and we come right up. iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, and, of course, themovieguys.net. Absolutely free. And we encourage you to subscribe where you can, and if you do, still, no charge. Newly posted to themovieguys.net, you can catch our review of Neighbors, which I'm sure we'll talk about later in the show. And a first for our website, a theater review. But a night in the theater directed by horror film legend Stuart Gordon. So,
cool.
I
someone
thought
wanted to check that out.
I thought you were saying a theater reviewed us.
No,
That would have been odd.
We reviewed a play.
Oh, we did?
Wow.
Yeah, we sent one of our newer guys,
Of course we
Ray,
did.
to go see it.
Why don't we send those people out to watch me to
Okay,
play?
I have 2 questions.
What the hell?
Stuart Gordon.
Because you did not direct the Reanimator.
Stuart Gordon. I would love to see Stuart Gordon's 7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It would be better.
Yeah. But Sacred Fools Theater's production of Taste is the play we reviewed on there. And I should bring it up because it sounds awesome. It's a 2-person play, I believe, about a guy who invites someone over who answered an ad in the paper that they would like to be eaten by the other guy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that old tripe.
Sexually eaten or like toasted up?
Is there any other way?
I guess. I don't know. That you could say,
I'm sure it's
kill
going to be
me
sexy
and...
at some point.
Oh.
Now, you can also find our latest shows on ComedyPodcastNetwork.com, Break.com, IOComedyNetwork.com, and clips from the show on Funny or Die. Your hosts for the hardest-working podcast on the airwaves include myself, Paul Preston, here with Karen Volpe, Lee Caius, Adam Witt, and all show long, you've already heard his voice a little bit here, we are joined by MC of the Hater Nation podcast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? TheHaterNationShow.com.
There you go. And as ever, we bring you our signature take on what's opening this weekend with our movie previews. Opening this week, it's $1 Million Arm versus $70 million box office. As John Hamm's $1 Million Arm opens, a tale as old as money itself. A white American man brings non-American young men to play professional sports in the U.S. Also opening, as the world has been made aware by a massive marketing campaign, it's Godzilla. Here's a clip.
From the depths, 30 stories high, breathing fire, his head in the sky. Godzilla, 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 Godzilla.
Jesus.
Oh, I love that cartoon.
For years, I've been up from the dead. I remember that part. I forgot how dramatic it got.
very dramatic.
Great, isn't it?
Now, did you edit that out?
What's that?
Gadzuki?
The Godzuki.
I edited that, yeah.
Thank you. I was
And
going to make that.
Godzuki. We should have left it in because all of a sudden it goes into...
It's a total Scrappy-Doo theme.
Yeah, I was about to say Scrappy Doo. God.
And I can't remember as a kid if Godzooky was a latecomer to that cartoon or that cartoon
No.
always had Godzooky.
At that time, this is going to be more information than anybody wants to know. At that time, cartoons.
I wanna know.
All of a sudden, every cartoon got a little sidekick. Scrappy Doo,
Yeah.
Baby Plastic Man,
Oh yeah.
Baby Plaz, as we
Baby
call him.
Fang Face,
Baby Fang, yeah.
and Baby Fang, and
Baby Smurf.
I
and
just
Baby Smurf.
Baby
want
Plaz.
to
Yep.
say something that Lee normally would say, but Godzooky is my favorite dessert at BJ's.
Damn, I wish I had
Oh,
said
you ever get a? Yeah. Oh, the Godzooky is tasty.
Try the Godzooky cold.
the peanut butter Godzooky is the best. Yeah.
All right, here's a clip, an actual clip from Godzilla, but it contains just as much gravitas.
You are not fooling anybody when you say that what happened was a natural disaster.
Got wow.
You're lying.
Take that,
It was
gravitas,
not
Raymond
an
Burr.
earthquake. It wasn't a typhoon.
You know that kind of feels
Because
good
what's really
in your seat
happening
when that happens.
is that you're hiding something out
Only
there.
to you.
And it is going to send us back to the Stone Age.
God, he's so awesome.
Ladies, if you'd like to sit on the base of the speaker
Yeah.
during this ad, you will find a thrill beyond most men.
That's a sexy, very sexy trailer.
What a great pick, Bryan Cranston, right? Because I think it's a good balance of he's not a huge movie star, so he's not going to detract.
Right.
Exactly.
But and so you never know what could happen to him in the movie. But he's also, just strong enough, and he needs some kind of. People want to see more of him. So boom, here he is in Godzilla.
He really believes it, and I believe it. Because he sounds so upset about everything.
He is going to have a heart attack.
Oh, no.
Everything that happens, he's like, "You don't understand that." He's just yelling and screaming at everybody. He's great. Oh,
But
my
the
God.
dream is for these things is to have some gravitas. Especially Godzilla was incredibly silly for a couple decades there.
Godzooky.
And a Godzooky. I mean, and of course they're doing the effects and all this stuff, and they're giving it a very serious tone and everything. But when you throw Bryan Cranston in there instead of Raymond Burr or whoever,
Or Matthew Broderick.
or Matthew Broderick,
We seem to forget that movie, huh?
We do.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
We
about.
do.
We wiped that from our memory.
Yeah. It wasn't the Roland Emmerich film I
got to tell you,
recall.
it is kind of funny how many blogs online in when this Godzilla is coming out have listed the 28 best Godzilla movies in order. There's
Yes.
29, but they don't count.
They don't even
the
rank it.
Yeah, they go the 28 ranked from bottom to top, and you're like, there's 29, and they don't even mention it. It's kind of incredible.
Wiped from their memory.
Yeah.
Well, as you may know, this is Godzilla's chance to break out of the Japanese-only market and really become an international brand for monster movies. But are you aware that not only did they modernize Godzilla's roar for this update, but they made different roars for the different international markets?
That's helpful.
For example, here's
Just
how...
like accents, different people have
Yeah.
different accents.
Exactly, that people can relate to. Here, I think, is the one they're playing in Germany.
It's subtle, but I heard it.
Yeah,
I
there's
hope he
something
just
of it.
ate Hitler. That's all. I just
Or stepped on him. Yeah. that'd be
something.
great.
That would be great.
Here in the Middle East, they love movies in the Middle East.
I
Boy,
bet.
there's nothing they love more.
They love taking their wives and daughters to movies.
Oh, because the girls are allowed to go out and have a good time.
And
with
they
their
drive.
girlfriends.
They drive, don't they? No, they
drive.
don't.
Honey, why don't you drive this time?
Honey, you drive. Bring your sister.
Bring-
And here's what Godzilla sounds like over there.
Show some leg.
That's a little different.
I hope he just ate a bad guy.
Just taking out Al Qaeda with his tail.
Can you imagine how quickly we would have got Bin Laden with a Godzilla?
That would have been awesome.
Was there ever one where they controlled him? I seem to think there was.
Well,
Like
there
they
were
put
times
something on his
where
head,
he
or-
was a good guy. There
Yeah.
were times where suddenly he became
Yeah.
like a good guy out of.
Could
like
they,
it was
like-
like wrestling? He turned into a face and something heel.
Right. If you're not paying attention one week, he's
Yeah,
just
you're
suddenly
like,
with you.
wait, what, did I miss a movie? Did I miss number 25?
The Rock's a good guy?
What's Hollywood Hulk Hogan doing here?
Wait, here's how Godzilla
like
sounds
it.
in France. Those are frogs, Lee.
I just thought it was going to like roar and then lay down.
But here's my favorite. In the Spanish and
Nobody
Mexican...
hates France enough to call them frogs. That's such a weird slur that nobody actually uses,
From
right?
the 60s.
You know, actually, the word French is a curse word, kind of. When it, it's like, oh, you're so French.
Exactly. It is a slur. You're right.
I couldn't find a drop that just yelled, "I give up." So,
Oh!
All right,
Sort of tap, tap, tap.
here's the Spanish and Mexican market.
that final part too. There was always that final part.
I have one of those bougainvilleas in the back.
The bougainvilleas.
Yeah.
It's a very popular instrument.
The bougainvillea.
I love when the bougainvilleas are in bloom. The vuvuzelas on my porch.
The vuvuzelas are in bloom.
The vuvuzela still sounds like a female body part.
Yeah.
What? It's not?
Here's the final
When
one.
you sing, you have to sing from your vuvuzela, I believe.
Oh, here's how it sounds in Japan. Although they've already got that market, they did update it a little bit.
So is that ending?
What is that?
Mr. Sparkle.
Mr. Sparkle from The Simpsons.
Anyway,
What about the Magic Johnson Black audience? You forgot about them, didn't you? Didn't you?
that was too much noise. You couldn't even hear the trailer.
Exactly.
They were all
Way too much
screaming
time.
at it.
Either that or all were late.
Oh.
I can say that.
Yes, thank God you're
For those of you
here.
not
I
watching
can't.
the YouTube video and are
Proof
just
positive.
listening, he can say that.
I can say that.
Just to let you know a little something about our guest, he can say that.
You might not know.
Oh, I should bring up one more thing that we did during the holiday season. We played a little game of fantasy movies on Rotoflix. Rotoflix.com. That's FLIX.com. And we're doing it again for the summer season when Rotoflix has started up a summer league where you play a fantasy game and you bet on what's going to make a lot of money at the box office, whereas during the winter, it's what's going to win Oscars. So we're launching into the second week this week. We missed the first week, missed the deadline, so we didn't get into the first week of Spider-Man. But Lee, you've got Godzilla on your fantasy team, right?
I do. He's
It's a
my
big
starting.
weekend for you.
You
Yeah.
draft movies and actors separately, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
and director.
And directors.
Yeah. So
You
you
have to
don't automatically get Bryan Cranston. You have to pick him separately.
Yeah, you.
Right.
So I was wondering about that as a strategy. Do you just pile on one movie because you know that movie's going to wipe out
Yeah.
everybody? Do you just get the actor, director? But they go around
Yeah,
the horn.
I thought about that too. Yeah, with the rotisserie draft or
Yeah.
whatever they call it.
But he had a good position because he was 2 in a row for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like
always
every
got
time.
2 picks in a
But
row.
I ended up with Gareth Edwards, director of Godzilla, so we'll see how many points I can get from
And
that.
I ended up with Tom Cruise for no other reason than he was next to pick, and I had a chance
Stole him
to
out from
pick
under
Tom
Lee.
Cruise.
Stole his boyfriend away.
I can't even make an excuse for why I didn't.
I don't
get
know why he wasn't
completely.
picked.
Because
Forgot.
you should have picked Godzilla for your
Yeah,
first
you
pick.
had- you
It's
had a
going to be
great
a
pick.
huge movie.
You had a great pick.
Or will it be a huge movie?
Always bet with
Oh,
your head,
sure.
not your heart.
Yeah, he's not playing with his heart. Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
saying, with Pacific Rim underperforming, they wonder if Godzilla will.
No, Godzilla's
will do it up.
different than Pacific
Yeah.
Rim because I didn't even know there was a Godzilla in Pacific Rim.
Godzilla was the king. Godzilla's the king, taking back his throne. F Cloverfield, F Pacific Rim. Gold. Godzilla's coming back for his gold, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
It's
did
coming
it.
back. He's the
It's
king.
more wrestling. You
Even
just
to
It's
the
all
wrestling,
wrestling. It's
yeah.
all wrestling. It always comes back to wrestling on the Hater Nation show.
You
I'm
know,
not
he
on that,
does
though.
kind of walk around like the big slow, I used to call him, the big show. It's kind of
Godzilla's
like
like
a
the Big Slow?
Godzilla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just hope this Godzilla does the Muhammad Ali shuffle.
Right, yeah.
Remember when he used to do the
Yeah.
shuffle?
Yeah, and didn't he even do the thumb the nose
Yes.
thing? Like he totally
Yeah.
did all the Muhammad Ali boxing stuff when he was all those 70s
When he
ones
gets
are
all fired up.
incredible.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was a cater to the blacks.
So we'll have updates on how we're doing on Rotoflix. I think the first week, whoever had neighbors, I think that's Pete,
That wasn't me.
an old high school friend of mine playing.
That
will be number one.
overperformed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Incredible.
That
Yeah.
P also overperforms.
Yeah, I should also say a quick shout out to friends of the show. Ike Barinholtz did appear on the movie Showcast
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
week. And he got the movie guys bump as Neighbors open to 51 million. So you're welcome, Ike.
You don't think his appearance on Howard Stern had anything to do with it?
Well, he was
Well, I
there
think they only booked him on
after
Howard
the
Stern
weekend.
after our show, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
And he appeared there Monday.
chronologically, you're right.
Well after the huge weekend.
I'm on Kimmel tomorrow.
Fantastic. Have fun with that.
And you're welcome. Also want a special shout out to Grace McPhillips and Corbett Lunsford, our guests from a few weeks back, as their short film Eclipse is having its premiere at the Cannes Film Festival.
Wow.
It's Cannes, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it's pronounced
Yeah.
can.
That's great. Good
And
for
Grace
them.
will be giving her presentation once again on the new HP workflow that involves on-set editing that they made this film with, or that they actually made a feature with in under a year. So she's going to talk about that and the films over there. So good on them. But let's get on to our first movie. How will Hollywood destroy major United States cities this summer? Or I should say, this summer. I believe your answer will be found in our first big release of the weekend. Lee, let's talk about Godzilla. This Friday, a sci-fi fantasy movie finally has the balls to stand up to the arrogance of man in Godzilla.
Now, if the name of this movie sounds familiar, that's because, as Adam has mentioned, there are 29 other movies with the word Godzilla in the title, most of which are about a giant lizard. For those of you who've never heard of Godzilla, or merely have been spending your lives learning important things, Godzilla is a 30-story tall, irradiated lizard who smashes cities, fights other giant beasts, and breathes fire.
Or does he? There's no
Oh.
evidence that this American version of Godzilla will have him breathing fire. So maybe this is a serious take? Maybe they're going for a more realistic version of the 30-story tall irradiated lizard who smashes cities and fights giant beasts?
We can only hope so. It's been 60 years since Japan suffered its first Godzilla attack in the 1954 film Godzilla, or as we like to call it, Gorija. Gorija?
Gojira.
Gojira. That's what we like to call it.
You like to call it Gorija.
Gorija. And then it's been 10 years since the last attack in Godzilla Final Wars. But we all know it was only a matter of time before Godzilla would stomp again.
This time, Godzilla is produced by Legendary Pictures and Warner Brothers, the first Godzilla movie to be shot by an American studio, unless you count Roland Emmerich's 1998 Godzilla, but who would?
This is an upgraded Godzilla. Gone are men in rubber suits. Replaced! Because that's how things don't look fake in 2014.
But despite being an American production, the producers made full use of atomic bomb and tsunami imagery to make Japanese viewers feel comfortable.
Oh, nice.
I swear to God, we just could not find the plot of this movie anywhere. Even the film's own website calls it a powerful story of human courage and reconciliation. And something about Godzilla rising to the surface to restore balance.
I'm sorry, Paul, I beg to differ, because every one of the synopsis I read was very clear and concise and complete in describing what this movie was about. See, here, for example, Rotten Tomatoes says Godzilla.
So, and?
So, Godzilla, Paul. I don't know about you, but I don't want a whole lot of plot getting in the way of my Godzilla. Look, everything you need to know about this movie is right there in the title. Not since Super Cop has a title so succinctly informed the audience as to what this movie is about.
What we need is a super cop.
There you have it.
Never gets old.
It never gets old.
According to the film, this monster was alive in 1954, and from all accounts, he was already an adult. So here we are 60 years later, and the same Godzilla is still around.
Wow.
That means we're taking on a geriatric Godzilla here. We should be able to take him out. Shouldn't he be the villain in the new Expendables movie? Oh.
Now, Godzilla stars Aaron Taylor Johnson,
Say my name.
Elizabeth Olsen,
Say my name.
and Bryan Cranston,
You're goddamn right.
proving that if you do enough meth, you will see God. Zilla.
And David Strathairn appears to give a good speech. If you want a man to deliver a stirring yet sensible message of hope, you can't do much better than David Strathairn.
And Ken Watanabe shows up as the plot bot to explain everything to the Americans.
Yes, thank you.
Now, Ken Watanabe actually speaks 3 different languages: Japanese, English, and gravitas. So you may not understand everything he's saying, but God damn it, you know it's going to be important.
Yep.
You are the general of your army? This is a low rank? I like the general cast.
I don't know, man, but that was fucking important. Godzilla is directed by Gareth Edwards, director of 2010's Monsters, which was notable not only for its $15,000 budget, but also for its realistic treatment of what it might be like to discover that monsters are among us. Edwards appears to continue that theme on a larger scale in Godzilla, sticking closely to the point of view of the characters, keeping the camera with them to give audiences a sense of mystery and wonder that's equal parts Jurassic Park and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Now, the giant kaiju in the room for this movie is the immensely profitable movie everyone hated in 1998. So let's take a look at the warning signs. Does it contain what the Movie Guysopedia calls a Paxton, an actor cast with just enough star power so the project looks like a real movie, but who isn't famous enough to detract from the special effects? No! Here we have Bryan Cranston, who brings a little more weight than Matthew Broderick. Matthew Broderick's an actor who never met a role he couldn't take the edge off.
Now, does it contain a Taco Bell tie-in?
Lizard. Godzilla's hiding, and it's up to you to find him. Uh-oh. I think I need a bigger box.
Oh my gosh.
The answer is no.
No.
Wow.
Is it directed by Roland Emmerich? No.
Does Godzilla look like Godzilla? Yes.
Yay.
Does this Godzilla contain a song by Sean Puffy Combs?
I love you daily, and not sincerely, but you annoy me. You can't avoid me. I'm here to stay forever and ever and a day.
I just threw up in my mouth.
It just makes you think of giant lizards, doesn't it?
Yes.
That would be a no. So, okay, looks like we might have a real Godzilla on our hands.
I hear it's hoping, right? I hope so.
Wow.
I think I speak for the table. We're all excited to see this, right?
Yes.
Crossing genders, right? Well, the other side of the table. Karen
Yes,
wants
I
to
love
see
this stuff. I don't know. This, for some reason, maybe it was something that I actually had it would involve me in some way when I was a kid, but
Did you watch them when you were a kid? Because I think we all kind of caught them.
I think maybe accidentally. It's not something I remember, but I really like Godzilla.
You have to understand, Karen had Canadian television by antenna.
Yeah.
But like Saturday afternoons, they do like the. Did you have a horror show there? Like where in Saturday afternoons, like a horror host would come on and say we're watching
most
movies?
everything was a horror show where I was from.
well.
Yes.
Look out the window. There's a horror show.
I think what it might have been is my brothers were into it because of the heavy metal tie-in. That song you were playing earlier.
Oh yeah.
That might be why
yeah.
they love that shit. Oh, I brought this. Now, if you look on your script, you probably see something very strange called Dogzilla.
Yeah.
And I have this. It's called Dogzilla. For those of you watching at home, you can watch on
this
YouTube.
is why you like Godzilla.
I think this might be part of it.
Question.
It's yes.
Why is that not
Lee.
a pop-up book?
I know. It totally
That
needs
should be
to
a pop-up book.
It's a little book about. It's a colored book about this corgi.
Colored book?
Sorry. It's a.
We don't say that
a
anymore,
picture
Karen.
book with different colors.
If you keep describing that, you're going to get Tim Burton a development deal.
And it has a corgi that's a Dogzilla. And what he does, guys, this is great. I'll just tell you really quick. There's a bunch of mice that live in this town, and they're having a cook-off. And then all of a sudden, out of the town's volcano, because every town has a volcano,
Totally Burton-esque.
comes Dogzilla.
Yeah,
and
no,
he goes
that's
down and he
hilarious.
causes trouble. And so the little mice,
Hold it up to the camera, Karen. Use your words.
the mice,
Use your pictures. Use the pictures.
the mice get together in their little army and they fight
course they
him
do.
because
They're
Dogzilla,
mice.
he doesn't breathe fire, he breathes stinky dog breath. Oh, so he has stink breath.
We went to
Did
a
the
store.
dog then attack a kid on a tricycle and we get fended off by a cat?
Patent pending.
It attacked some mice and a bug on a bridge.
Volkswagen bug.
Volkswagen bug.
Because
Karen and I
you.
went to a store in Burbank called Dark Delicacies. It's known for its like macabre and horror, and this is what she found.
And this is great because
There's like
Wait, you bought this book?
yeah.
and there's a mouse with glasses.
Yeah.
Right after Paul said dark,
So now the mouse has a plan on how to fight the Dogzilla. They have a little sketch of him, and it says
that's
things
the
like,
Bryan Cranston of
he's a-
Dogzilla.
Yes, he's like the scientist saying, "This is what we do."
You're lying!
He's here. So what they do is they go.
You don't know what's coming.
They decide to give him a bath. So they get the forces together of the little mice, and they get shampoo and conditioner, and it makes the Dogzilla so upset.
Now I know it's like 8 pages, but we're not going to get the whole story, are we?
Oh, do you want to know the end?
Yes, please, let's go forward.
No need to buy the
This
book
is
now.
the end. He goes back into
Spoiler.
his spoiler. It's a picture of his butt sticking out of the volcano.
so Godzilla in theaters.
Yeah.
Thanks for that preview.
But then, there's a sequel. There's puppies coming out of
Oh,
it.
so that's much more like the
Puppies
Rowan
came out of
Emmerich
his ass?
one.
No, the puppies came out of the volcano.
You have to buy a whole
Last picture
nother
I saw,
book to
it was his
explain that.
ass.
Well, he had to get in the volcano, so his butt was sticking
I-
out.
another
hate
dog
to
in the
change
volcano?
subject back to
Yes, his
Godzilla.
girl dog is in the volcano. What up? He leaves a bitch at home.
As you should.
Yeah, that's right.
I hate to change the subject,
Dogzilla, everybody. Thank you.
Please do.
but interesting story. I saw the last Godzilla movie, the very last one they made, Godzilla Final Wars, the best one, by the way, that they've made. I saw that in Japan on opening weekend with an actual Japanese audience.
Did they love it?
Now, of all the things you can do in Japan, the one you could never time out to make that be perfect, that would be the best thing ever, would be to see a Godzilla movie in original release with a Japanese audience. Bucket list.
Did they run
I'm
around and
so
scream?
excited about that.
Did they like it?
Oh, they loved. Yeah, they loved it. But I mean, they're pretty
course.
reserved as an audience. But it's a little more reserved.
And it's guy in suit, right? Nothing fancy. Right?
Guy in suit. And in Godzilla Final Wars, if anybody wants to cut to the chase and just watch the one you need to, he literally fights every creature he's fought in all the other movies.
Nice.
They have like a giant battle one
It's
to
like
one
a
to one to one.
potpourri.
Ghidra?
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody.
Sample platter.
Mega Godzilla?
Yeah. Mechagodzilla.
But no
was there.
smog monster.
Ah.
Did-
No, Smog Monster.
No Smog Monster?
Every one of them.
Mothra?
Mothra, absolutely. And
I
you know
love
what?
King Kong?
No, they didn't go King
That's the
Kong.
one they didn't go. Yeah.
But he does fight the 1998 Godzilla, and he blows its head right off. It's like a 15-second fight. It's just seriously like a fuck you to the.
Did he ever fight Gargantuans? Battle of the Gargantuans?
Oh no,
He never
that
fought
was
a
a different
gargantuan.
movie.
Yeah, but I don't know if there
remember
was ever
that.
any cross.
Was that gargantuan giant people?
No, they were just like, there was a green and a brown one,
They
right?
had two big hairy giants.
Boogers.
Yeah.
This sounds like boogers.
Interesting.
Battle of the Gargantuas.
Like, where are you
Yeah.
going?
Don't know that one.
Now that you start talking about him fighting things, I have so many things I'd like Godzilla to show up in their movie, like Hobbits. I just wish Godzilla would just show up in Hobbit movies.
You know, it's interesting you
That'd
say
be
that
awesome.
because the thing I was a little upset about. I'm glad they're making a good Godzilla. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. It's just a unique joy, these movies, just watching them bring some sort of joy. But the thing was, they did the 1998 Godzilla, and so they rebooted it, and then it just went away. But then Japan kept making them, and in each of those, Godzilla, of course, is fighting another monster. And when they were going to make this one, I was like, if you reboot this thing only every 10 years, then he's always got to fight Lex Luthor. Like, it's like Superman. It's
Right.
like, oh, he's going to fight Lex Luthor or Zod or whatever. But so I thought they were just going to do the Godzilla story, and he wasn't going to fight anyone unless this was a hit. But there's another monster in it.
Is it Mothra?
I mean, that's pretty exciting.
Is it the flying one?
I don't think it's anyone we know unless it's like
I think
might be Rodan. Or something.
Rodan is in it. The giant pterodactyl, and then
That's
there's a thing
cool.
called Muto, which is like a squid type creature type thing.
Well, the mystery behind both him and the other monster, I think, is hilarious because if you watch the Fiat commercial, you get a real good shot of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like the whole trailer for the movie, they're hiding the monster.
Yeah.
And then you watch a car commercial,
commercial?
and there's Godzilla. So maybe there's a
Yeah, that's the first time I saw him.
Yeah, maybe there's a Volkswagen commercial where we see the beastie fights. I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe halfway through, Dogzilla will show up, and he'll fight Dogzilla and his stink breath.
I can only hope not.
There is one shot of
Thank
Las
you.
Vegas crumbling.
Yeah.
So chances are he goes to all the places that we know. Like he'll go just
Yeah.
just to do it. He'll walk by Mount Rushmore, but like take a swipe at it, knock a couple faces off, and
Wouldn't it
keep
be
going.
kind of neat though if he was going along and he just stepped on those people that hate fags, like just in general,
Westboro-
just walks
Westboro-
by.
That's why you want him to go to the Hobbit
Yeah,
Shire, don't you?
that's what I want to have
You want
happen.
Godzilla to just go in other movies and destroy
Step on
things.
them. Yeah.
They hate fags. How do you feel about fags?
I'm a big fan of fags. No, I just think that it would be interesting.
Did that guy's funeral
died.
come and go without?
Yeah, nobody did anything. They left it
well, I
alone
guess
because
that's-
they didn't want to
Good.
be like him.
For such an irony-soaked generation, I'm proud, really.
I am too.
I mean, they're all wearing mustaches they don't mean, but nobody went and protested with the guy that protests funerals, right?
You don't mean that mustache. That's the most insincere mustache.
Yeah.
Now, one of the most famous trademarks from Godzilla is the famous roar.
Yes.
It's as famous as Tarzan's scream or Bill O'Reilly's scream. But it's received an upgrade for this movie, and we're wondering who was behind the modern spin on the old classic. That's why we're happy to introduce our next guest, the man responsible for giving Godzilla his menace. None other than Godzilla's vocal coach, Chet Loudly, everybody.
Chet Loudly. It's been a while.
Thanks, Paul. Karen, can you plug in my headphones? I just knocked him out with my wild motion there.
Oh,
Thanks,
yes.
Paul.
Chet came from somewhere else. That's why he had to hurry and put on his.
I had to run to the studio, and
jacket
Adam
and
had to
scarf.
go take a pee.
Yeah, he'll be back in a second. Now,
Anyway.
let me ask you this: you've been the vocal coach to all manner of Hollywood stars.
Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I've coached such luminaries as King Kong, Cloverfield, and Shaquille O'Neal. But there's not hope for everyone I work with. Shaquille still sounds like he was awoken at the bottom of the ocean by an atomic test.
And of course, the star of this week's movie, Godzilla.
I'm proudest of my work with Godzilla.
So, how was he to work with?
Oh, well, before or after lunch. The real problem with Godzilla was breaking him out of some old habits. I brought some clips of our session, and perhaps I can walk you through my process.
Oh, okay. Well, let's play the first clip here. Here we go.
As you can hear, he's clearly not in the right headspace.
All right.
That's important.
Oh, very important for a creature with a brain the size of a pea. The first thing I did was have him work on his backstory. You know, what's his journey?
Oh.
And I think you can hear this internalized with this next recording.
Okay. Yeah, he feels much more centered in that one.
Yeah, much more confident, but lacking emotion, as I think everybody here can tell.
Yeah, he seems distant.
That was
Yeah.
obvious. Yeah.
So my next technique was to get him to internalize his goal. You know, what's his want?
And what was that?
Stomp Tokyo. So let's just listen to his third try with his goals internalized.
Oh, this is exciting.
Can you tell?
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, well, in the interest of playing along, yes.
But I felt Godzilla was lying to himself a little. That there had to be a reason he wanted to stomp Tokyo. You know, what was his why?
What did he arrive at?
He wanted to smash Tokyo because he felt it was a part of him, and what he really hated was himself.
That's deep, Chet.
And it shows. Can you tell the depth?
Well, it seemed longer. Yeah, Hollywood seems to confuse that with depth.
Exactly. Yet I still felt lacking character. Anybody else? See if you can tell. Could you play it again?
No.
So I asked Godzilla, Gods, and we were developing a rapport enough for nicknames at this point. This stepping on towns, taking military fire, getting zapped by power lines, who are you really doing this for? Now, I promised I would never tell, but he said...
So that seems like a great one.
But it wasn't quite there. It lacked passion.
Oh.
Well, congratulations, Chet. You've done it again.
No, hold on. I had him imagine he was murdering the massive population and giving that roar to the father that left him. And my work was done.
That's terrific, Chet. Well, once again, you've given us insight behind the scenes of a major motion picture. What's next for you?
Well, next I'll be helping coach the voice of Skull Raven, the villain in J.J. Abrams' Star Wars episode. Oh, shit, confidentiality agreement. Well, at least I didn't say what episode it was.
All right. Well, that was Chet Loudly, everybody. There you go. Oh, it's a... Wow, there's... Oh, well, Jesus, they love Chet. That's enough, Chet.
Wow.
We've had him in before. He was doing, I think he was doing Tommy Lee Jones. He was Tommy Lee Jones.
Telling us how to learn.
Oh,
Tommy
yeah.
Lee Jones. You got to talk real short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not talking the way like Tommy Jones talks.
Yeah.
You got to get a lot of words out. You don't have a lot of time to do it. Because you got to get back to the star of the movie.
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to lose clientele, but he's transitioned nicely into giant irradiated lizards.
Irradiated monsters, yes.
And there's never a lack of those.
Well, hey, if nothing else, we bring guests.
Yeah.
Now, in our next film of the weekend...
What did I miss, guys?
Hey, Adam, good to have you. We're going to talk about our next film of the weekend. John Hamm goes all slum dugout millionaire as he searches for the next great Major League Baseball pitcher in India. Karen, let's talk about $1 Million Arm. $1 Million Arm is a movie that's as American as apple pie, baseball, reality shows, and John Hamm's penis.
Hey, penis looks great.
Oh, thanks, Jack. Yours too.
$1 Million Arm tells the story of J.B. Bernstein, played by John Hamm, a sports agent who loses his #1 player when J.B. is unable to offer more money, hookers, and drugs than the competition. Let's play a clip.
Show you the money. Show you. Show me the money. Show me the money. Yeah. Louder. Show me the money.
Yes, it's Jerry Maguire Goes to India.
You've been greenlit.
Major League Baseball has long been criticized for taking advantage of the impoverished talents of Latin and Cuban players. So in this movie, America's pastime sets its sights on an even more destitute population of wannabe baseball players to exploit. No, not the Chicago Cubs. India.
This is a story of how two lowly AT&T customer service representatives are transformed into two major league pitchers, Rinku and Dinesh.
$1 Million Arm. Oh, I see. It's a sequel. So when do they lose the use of their arms in a horrible accident and Clint Eastwood has to cut them off?
Paul, you're off on that.
I'm sorry.
Like most every non-Godzilla movie out this week, it's based on a true story. Let's hear an interview with actual sports figures whose lives inspired this film.
Why are you trying to come back? Why have you done it?
Basketball been very good to me.
All right, back to the plot. Having lost his star clients, faced with going out of business, and desperate for a solution, JB does something that's actually hard to believe. He watches a cricket game.
Oh.
An Indian cricket game.
Oh.
That must air on ESPN 20 after Nepalese lacrosse.
Well, thank God he didn't lean on the clicker and end up on QVC and recruit a Flavor Stone 5-piece everyday cookware set to pitch for the Pirates.
When JB wakes up after a brief nap during hour 3 of the exciting cricket match, JB witnesses a cricket pitcher with an amazing arm. $1 million arm, one might say. Then he does the most American thing he can. Exploit a foreigner for television ratings.
Now, in a movie that Don Draper would have fired himself for, JB creates a show called $1 Million Arm. Maybe because the title, World's Fastest Indian, was already taken.
The two reality contestants proved that they were not in the contest to make friends.
I didn't come here to make friends. I'm not here to make friends.
I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to make friends.
I ain't here to make no friends.
I'm not here to make friends.
I'm not here to make friends.
I'm not here to make friends.
The two win a trip to America where things go from feel good to feel great with a little fish out of water culture shock. As the boys crocodile Dundee their way across modern day America, they marvel at the elevators, computers, and white woman living next door, and they yearn for the open sewers of India while exploring downtown.
The white woman next door is played by Lake Bell, who had John Hamm at Hello. It also stars Aziz Ansari and Cal Penn.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it should. Either way, Bruno Mars looks good in this.
That's not him.
Well, fuck it. The point is, the movie also stars Alan Arkin, so I'm going to go.
Alan Arkin. Alan Arkin. Alan Arkin. Alan Arkin.
Jamie, could you look up the actual name of the two actors who play the pitchers?
Great arms.
If you could, because I want to give a shout out to one of them. He looks like Bruno Mars.
I think it's Brian and Steve.
Brian and Steve, the AT&T customer service representatives.
Yeah, they did. That's their real name. Their fake name is Rinku and Dinesh.
Oh, I want to tell you, one time Paul and I were trying to do something with getting insurance after, I guess, like a Cobra thing, whatever. But the trick was we had been working for a really big company, and so they were saying that we weren't eligible. So I had to call customer service, and it was someone over in India. And the greatest thing happened. The guy had his accent, and he was being very lovely. But he said, "Where do you live?" And I said, "Burbank." He goes, "In California?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Oh, do you know Hollywood?"
And I know Hollywood?
Do I know Hollywood?
Oh,
and
my
he
God.
was so cute because all of a sudden he was no longer this person who didn't connect with me, and now he connected with me. And I said, "I do. I live right in Hollywood." And I told him a little bit about it. And I said, "So I don't understand why we're getting denied." He goes, "Well, let me go and look." And so he went onto a screen he's not supposed to go onto.
Denied? Who said denied?
And he read me what it said. And I said, can you send that to me? And he goes, "I'm not allowed to, but I can read it slower." So I wrote down what he said. And then, whatever, I went through the process, used those words to defend ourselves, and we got what we wanted. Like, we got our insurance, extended or whatever. But because he goes, "Do you live in Hollywood? Do you know Hollywood? Do you know Hollywood?"
Personally.
How cool is that? So, thank you, Dinesh.
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Dinesh. I think.
Dinesh. I'm sorry, Dinesh.
Dinesh.
Who are the guys, Jamie?
It's Suraj Sharma
Suraj Sharma.
and Medher Mittal.
Medher Mittal. That guy, Medher Mittal, was in the one that looks like Bruno Mars. He was in Slumdog Millionaire. He played the brother.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I wanted to shout out to him because that dude's really good in that movie. So I imagine he'll be good in this one too.
Yeah, and then I knew at the time, like Slumdog Millionaire, you're like, I don't know if these guys are like, it could be one of those movies where everybody loves them for that day, but then they don't get cast in anything else. Like you see that happen with some European films. And so it's good to see he's in something else.
Dev Patel crossed over.
Yeah.
He's, was a Newsroom.
Newsroom.
But, this guy's still playing a guy in India, probably works a ton in India. We'll see if he works more in Hollywood because he was really good.
Do you think they're going to break out into Bollywood numbers with John Hamm?
Oh, yes.
There better
God,
be.
I hope so.
Everybody works when
Oh, and Kristen, what's her name? Is it not Kristen Bell?
Lake Bell.
Lake Bell would look so cute in one of those outfits.
She is so cute.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that would be cute.
Supposedly she lives in my neighborhood.
Shut up. She's awesome. Go
Yeah.
hang out with her.
I want a sighting of that.
Yeah.
Right?
And let's just give her a little shout out to a movie that's probably not going to get as much attention, but her movie was great.
In a World.
In a World. That movie should probably, get seen over this movie. So if you're thinking about going to see this because you like her, go see In a World.
Well, I remember when we watched the trailer for this movie, we immediately started talking about, and probably on my prompt, the classic Kurt Russell Disney movies of the 70s.
Yeah, this is such a Disney movie, right?
Yeah, this is like one of those feel-good. It says from the producer of Miracle, so they want you to, feel good in a sports movie.
Yeah.
But, man, I wish there was something compatible today to those Kurt Russell movies.
You mean the computer wore...
The computer wore tennis shoes, The Barefoot Executive, The Strongest Man in the World. These are fantastic movies.
Who was the kicking mule, the football?
Francis.
Gus, the football
Gus.
kicking mule.
Gus.
Was that Kurt Russell? I don't think it was Kurt
No,
Russell.
but it was Disney,
Danza.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Disney. What's that?
Was that Tony Danza?
Maybe.
Jamie?
That would be awesome in
Did
so
he-
many ways.
He didn't play Gus. Jamie? Jamie.
I always ask
Jamie
people.
keeps us on track.
I always ask guests what that Cable movie is that they only know because Cable played the shit out of it. Like Cable played it over and over and over.
Yeah.
And the one is I think it's The World's Fastest Man, but it's the guy from Airwolf. We were talking about it. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
remember.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Jan Michael Vincent. And they get him from the jungle, and he goes and he can beat a cheetah. And I saw this movie every week. Every time. It was like always played on Saturday mornings for like months on HBO. Like whenever I was at my dad's, who had HBO.
We actually called the Indian kid in my high school the computer that wore tennis shoes because he was really smart.
Kidding. That would actually happen, you big
Yeah, I was gonna
silly.
say that would makes sense.
See, what happens is Kurt Russell's
Godzuki.
touching the computer when it's hit by lightning, and then all the
Godzuki
smarts
do?
of the computer go into Kurt Russell, so they think he's a genius, but he's not. He's just
electrocuted.
temporarily a genius, and so they sign him up for the quiz. Those movies are fucking great.
I gotta watch these.
You have to watch them.
Hey, you know
What?
Gary Grimes.
Gary Grimes was your lead
Gary
in Gus?
Gary Grimes?
Oh, wow.
It
There
was
you go.
like Don Knotts and Tim Conway.
I thought it was Tony.
Oh, you kidding me? The Apple Dumpling Gang,
Mr.
Hot Lead
Lipid.
Cold Feet. The Cat from Outer Space, Unidentified Flying Oddball.
I
These are
think that's-
great movies.
That
Witch
cat,
Mountain.
the cat that beat up that dog today might have been the cat from outer space.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That darn cat.
that darn
Ooh.
cat.
Do you want me
Marlon
to-
Thomas? No.
Shaggy
Who's in it?
DA.
Shaggy
Yeah,
DA.
Shaggy DA.
Oh yeah.
I'm out.
They should have done Dogzilla.
They
There
will.
you go with
They
that
will.
Godzilla shit.
Let's hope.
Matter of time till Disney properties that.
It's amazing that I was just I've been watching all the Disney animated movies, starting over with like Snow White and watching a lot of documentaries and stuff like that. It's kind of amazing. Like when Walt Disney was making animated movies, nobody was. Obviously, he made the first one, and then the only one every year that came out for forever. And then and we talked about when Bears came out, that Disney Nature, that was like the first nature documentaries. Nobody was doing that. And then those kids movies, like nobody was making kids movies. It's just like Disney was on top of all of those things. It's kind of crazy.
You got Oscars back then too. I mean, they knew it was innovative when he did it.
Now, this brings up an interesting point. We had dinner with Michael a couple days ago, and he was all bothered that Snow White had a star on the Walk of Fame.
That's some
What about
bullshit.
Godzilla?
Godzilla has one too.
Yeah.
Does
I saw that
Godzilla
too.
have one?
Yeah.
All right,
I
I
saw
can
that.
get behind that.
Now, was it Snow White specifically, or just non-living
It
characters?
said Snow White. And I'm
And that
thinking
bothered you?
I'm thinking of all the black people who don't have stars, and they have the nerve to sit there and like, number one, she didn't even exist. She's fake. she ain't a real person.
You know,
That's like-
I can
that's
agree.
Like, that's like Rocky's statue in Philadelphia. That's a fake person, but they don't respect Joe Frazier. He goddamn from Philadelphia.
Oh, no shit.
There ain't no statue of Joe Frazier. They throw bananas at him and shit.
Down goes.
How do you
Frazier.
feel about the Rugrats star?
That pissed me off too. At that point, I just shook my head. I spit on it and shook my head. I was like, "All right, next one I found was a blank one, and I put the Hater Nation sticker on it. That's the blackest thing you're gonna find on that sidewalk." Besides that hobo who was singing them Prince songs.
Well, that happens.
How often do you make it
He
out
was
to LA?
good.
Yeah.
Not that often. Not that
Yeah.
often.
No.
Have you
Every now and then.
Well, let's get deep with MC a little
Oh,
bit.
yes.
Talk a little more about. Tell us about the Hater Nation.
The Hater Nation is a comedy entertainment podcast. About 2 years old. We were great friends. We are great friends with the movie guys. We brought
We're the
them
movie
on
guys.
early on.
Early on, we
Early
didn't know
on.
what to expect.
Didn't know, but we appreciate the love that you showed us. We showed love back to you. We are found every week at thehaternationshow.com. It's myself, MC, along with BA and Ali. Triple threat. You won't forget. Woo!
He just came
Ric
in
Flair,
and
little
dropped it down like the rock.
Yeah, a little Ric Flair
Yeah,
action at the
right?
end there.
That's how you rock the mic. Some
That's how
people
you rock
some
the
people do it
mic.
NPR style. You've got the rock style.
Right.
And
That's
and
how we do it.
and you find yourselves on. And thanks to MC, we are now on WBAD.net, and because we're on
Yeah, that's
WBAD.net, we are now on JonasMountRadio.com as well.
So cool.
It's because these guys liked having us on and they helped us out. So, yeah,
were,
thank you.
You were for the longest time, and I think you still are the longest reigning guests for the Hater Nation. You come
That's
on a lot.
because you like-
Next to the hot chick with the fake boobs that we have on every now and then, you guys are like 1 and 2.
I
Back and forth,
understand.
back and
We
forth.
understand.
And we only call in. If she called
Yeah.
in, she wouldn't be there as much.
Not
as
at all.
Not nearly.
MC,
Hey,
I've
Brett.
been MC, I've been trying to get the hot chick with baked boobs on this show. I can't tell you how long.
Oh, man. You come out with me, we'll find one for
Already
you.
good.
He's in charge of that. Whenever we needed a hot girl for our stage show with big fake boobies, he totally would do
He
it.
turned into Mr.
Nice.
Casting.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Mr. Casting.
He
Please
would
send
go
the photo.
pick them up at their house and make sure they drove to the show, and he would make sure they got
And
there.
regretted that a few times, I believe.
yeah. Yeah, that's an offer you got to be careful when you make. Do you need to lift somewhere? Because you just don't know where you're going
And
to go.
she says yes, and it's Tarzana.
Yeah,
So-
you keep driving and you start getting worried. Like the street lights go out and you're
Yeah.
like, what the hell's going on? And you don't ever stop at a stoplight. You know that, right? You do a California roll. You
Oh,
just roll a little
absolutely.
bit. Go.
Go. Rolling
She'll
down.
even tell you, don't stop. Why are you stopping?
So you guys, did you start like hating on stuff? Was that your kind of your
I mean,
thing?
the thing with
I
the
know
Hater
you
Nation-
kind of softened a little
We're
bit,
very
right?
no. We
No?
still hate. We're still wild.
He
and crazy.
hates
What do you
Snow
hate?
White.
We hate Snow White. We hate Will Smith. We hate Godzilla. We hate everything.
What do you hate about Will Smith?
Oh my God!
Except for this last movie he did.
What's not to hate about Will Smith? The fact that every single movie that is in America, Will Smith had a part in it, according to Will Smith.
He turned that down.
Jesus Christ! I was going to be in the Matrix. I was going to be Superman. I was going to be Captain America. Shut the fuck up! Just be happy doing what you do, whatever it is, and whatever it is, I hate it.
But now we love his kid, or so I'm told.
Yes, do we love his kid?
I hate his kid.
I got a press release.
I wish I could go back in time and be a young kid and whoop his kid's ass.
Ooh, Terminator style.
Exactly.
Back in time to prevent
It's
Jaden
like a
Smith.
cycle and shit. You know,
Adam
like
and I ran into Jaden at Earth Cafe, right?
Cafe, yeah, it's a great CNBC.
Yeah, so we're sitting at Earth Cafe at a seat looking through the front window, and up pulls this Porsche, and in front of it, this huge Escalade, and you can tell they're together. And this Porsche's taking like 20 minutes to back into a spot that's twice as big as the car, and out of it rolls a kid that looks from the passenger seat that looks like Jaden Smith, and then some other just kind of nerdy little white dude on the driver's side, right?
Yes.
And so Adam and I are looking at this kid. We're thinking that looks like Jaden Smith.
Did he have a worried look on his face? Like, I can't even do it. It's like this.
That was our first clue,
Yeah.
right? So Adam gets his phone out and starts looking at pictures of Jaden Smith, and we find a picture.
Quickly, huh? You had that already saved.
We find a picture of him wearing exactly what he's wearing.
Yeah,
getting out of the car.
Total outfit.
It was that fast?
Bingo.
No. He'd obviously worn that look before.
I thought that it was so fast with the paparazzi. They already posted it.
It was
And there's Adam in the background looking at his phone.
bookmarked right next to my page of Lake Bell nude in that HBO TV show.
You run into movie stars and stuff like that in the DC area?
No, not at all.
No, because I've seen you guys post with like sports stars and things.
Sports stars every now and then, and from time to time, folks who come to cons. There's an awesome con that just happened in DC. But sports stars, yeah, typically we do sports stars.
Yeah. So. Do you ever like talk about politics and then hear shit back from anybody?
Well, Ali is a staunch fake Republican. I'll claim it like that because he claims he hates Obama. He's all about the Constitution. But if you go like one extra question with him, he gets really quiet. So it's like, all right. So you watch the first 5 minutes of Fox News and then you just turned it off to watch porn.
So basically, he's not a Tea Partier.
No, he's not a Tea Partier. He's not a Tea Partier.
Does he carry the Constitution with him?
He's one of those guys, he's a cause head. You know, like he'll find whatever Republican cause there is and just grab onto it with both hands. But like I said, you ask him that second question, he's just like, shut up, I hate Obama. I'm like, okay.
I only got these talking points I'm working with.
Yeah, like we're going to go through, let's go through Obamacare. It sucks, it's stupid. Okay, thank you.
Why? Because it's dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb. Stupid.
Is it weird to be in a city full of politicians?
No, I don't see them.
Oh, you don't at all?
It's not like L.A. where or in New York where you walk around and like some celebrity's walking by you. Like they don't walk around with a sash that says I'm a politician.
True.
Thank
you
God.
don't pay attention.
You
unless it's Al Franken, you don't know who it is.
And Al Franken, you don't know who Al Franken is because he's a politician.
You know because he's a comedian.
He's a celebrity. Yeah, exactly.
Do you ever run into Bill?
Clinton?
Just a Bill. Just like a little
just a Bill, a little tubby, a little fat Bill.
Yeah, is he just sitting on the steps?
The cartoon, does he just hang out?
They're going to vote you in, Bill.
No, I don't see any of that.
Okay.
Stuff. I don't even go near DC. I actually don't even. I live outside of DC.
Do you like all the DC sports teams? Or?
I'm a Redskin fan.
Yeah.
True and blue. The Nats, I could care less. DC baseball really sucks. The Wizards, everyone else in the world seems to like the Wizards suddenly. I remember when they sucked ass. So when they sucked ass, I hated them. I can't simply like a team simply because they got good. I can't simply wearing my freshly pressed from Modell's with the crease still from the fold Wizard shirt talking about DC Rising.
Wait a minute.
When I can't name the starting 5 of the goddamn team.
You don't want to like a team just because they're doing well?
No, I do not do that. That sucks.
Yankee fan.
Yeah, I would say
that's all Yankee fans do.
Yeah.
Hey, they're winning.
Yankee fans are people that just don't ever want to lose.
Yeah,
they can't handle it.
Well, the problem is they're sure they're going to win every year. It's an elitism that I don't like.
Yeah,
with the Yankee
it takes no character to root for the
If
Yankees.
you get behind the Wizards, then you know that's worth rooting for because they're not supposed to win.
Get behind the Wizards when there were 5 people in the stands. Don't get behind the Wizards when it's all full of people wearing their bright red creased shirts like I just told you. Don't watch it when they were winning 14 games and they were sucking ass and they were drafting Muggsy Bogues and Manute Bol and they thought that was interesting. When they thought people will come to watch that. I go to the circus. It's cheaper. I'm going to watch Manute Bol and Muggsy Bogues run around. What the fuck are you talking about?
I watch Muggsy Bogues.
I'm not watching Bogues.
But again, only as as a
That just seems
sideshow.
like somebody that would be in that TV show.
He was like 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
That
He's
was the
smaller
thing.
than you.
Now, who was the miniature version of Muggsy Bogues when
Spud-
when
no,
they
Muggsy
had
Bogues is Muggsy
Scrappy Doo and all that? He had
I
a
know,
smaller
right?
version,
Muggsy,
right?
yeah.
He sounds like he's in Boardwalk
Muggsy?
Empire.
Scrappy Bogues.
Scrappy
Yeah.
Bogues.
What do you make of the whole Redskins thing? If you're your favorite team, the whole they're trying to change the name of the team.
It's a bad word. It's to me, it's a slur. Fine, it is. It is. But you know what? If Native Americans got together and actually voiced their concerns, because every now and then you'll have like this group say, "Oh, we're fine with it." You know, we don't care. Like Seminoles are fine with it because they get money. You know, they get money from it. The Redskins, like people, no one can actually put their finger on the fact that is it a racial slur? Because some people are like, yes, it is. Well, where's your proof? I don't know. It was my grandmama's grandmama. My grandmama told me. It's like, well, that's not proof. I need to see it on paper that Redskins was a racial slur. If they believe it, it's fine. But if white people, sorry, the people in this room, if white people are sitting there saying
Guilty.
it's a bad word, you can't sit there and claim what's a bad word for another race. The other race has to tell you it's a bad word. And right now, the Native American culture, the Native American community, they're split on it. They don't know if it's a bad word. Some are like, it is a bad word. Some are not, it's not a bad word. So where do you go?
Jury's out still.
Jury's out. Then the jury's out. Then the team's are Redskins.
Yeah.
Until someone says there, it's a bad word, move it. Then
As a liberal, I love telling minorities what to do.
Exactly.
So we're changing it, whether you like it or not.
Whether you're upset
Because it
or
makes me
not.
feel better.
Because it makes me feel better. We're changing it, whether you think it honors you or not.
Yeah.
Take that, Miami Redhawks.
All right, let's get back to films and talk
Yes.
about your favorite movie of all time.
I love ensemble movies. So I love anything like us sitting here is a great movie.
are an
I
ensemble.
So
like-
you
I like the
love
idea.
August Osage County. Up high.
Or Anchorman?
Wait, what happened? That's an ensemble movie.
What?
August Osage County. They sit around a table just like this.
I
Eat
picture
your
him as
fucking fish.
He's more of a big chill guy, I think.
Oh, all right. Breakfast Club.
I'm trying to guess.
Y'all just keep throwing white movies out there.
Best Man's Holiday. No, that's what it is. Best Man's Holiday.
Put a pin in that. We're going to come back to that. Go favorite movie first.
No, I love. No, so I'm a Cannonball Run guy. I'm a Goonies guy. I'm a Sandlot guy. I'm a Monster Squad guy.
All right.
I'm anything. I'm a Magnificent Seven guy. I'm anyone when you bring a bunch of motherfuckers together for one big purpose. One of the movies I just saw the other day, I was in the gym. Can't you tell? I was in the gym over at the hotel, and Tropic Thunder was on.
Oh, I love Tropic Thunder.
I love Tropic Thunder. It's so great. The greatest line is when Bird shows, they're in the woods, they're in the bush, the shit. And they're walking, and Bird show's talking about the Blu-ray versus high-def DVDs, and Robert Downey Jr. is like, shit, you were talking to me the whole time? Like, I'm sitting there lifting weights, and I drop the weights, and I'm laughing still, because it's just a funny fucking line. That's one of my favorite movies. It's just a group of talented Bamas all together. Bamas is an East Coast word. Y'all don't know about Bamas.
What's
I
a
guess you
Bama?
would say Mark Busters. That's what you would say out here in the West Coast. Mark Busters. A whole bunch of busters getting together, just having a good time. This Is the End, another one of those great movies.
Yeah.
Pineapple Express, another one of those great movies. They're recent, but I still love them. Even the old stuff. Anything that's old with a bunch of people, even It, the TV movie It. I loved it because it was a bunch of motherfuckers together for a cause. That's what it was.
Do you like Band of the Hand?
Band in the Hand? What the?
Band of the Hand.
is
It's
that
a bunch of guys that get together to do a heist or something.
So
They all
Michael
have different
Mann
skills.
produced an action movie from the 80s.
It's really good.
I didn't know.
Directed by
Yeah,
Paul
it's
Michael
totally
Glazer.
your kind of thing.
Edited by Stephen Rivkin.
Well, I didn't know that much
You
about
guys
it.
are movie guys.
But it's a good movie.
I'm not the movie guy.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, it
Or
is.
family of the friend
Best
of the show.
boy was John Smith.
Love his work.
Now, how excited were you when you heard that Tarantino's next movie was going to be a Western and a group Western called The Hateful Eight?
I loved it.
How cool is that?
I thought he was doing a movie about us.
The Hateful Nation 8.
We will be doing promos on that. The HaterNationShow.com advanced screens. You know we're going to have that stuff.
Which they won't make. Yeah, that's the script that got leaked. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Do you guys get into see movies in the theater like ahead of time and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah. See, we
do
don't
a
have
lot-
it. We just
yeah.
talk trailers.
We do a lot of advanced screens, and if you check out themovieguys.net, wherever you find them, you'll see a couple of to and from movie reviews that we did for the Movie Guys.
Yeah.
We did Pacific Rim.
Awesome.
We did.
This is the end.
This is the
What
end.
was
which
the
we
one
love.
that you were late
They
for?
took a bullet. They took a bullet.
What's the fake Last Starfighter movie? Ender's Game.
Ender's Game.
Otherwise known as Last Starfighter. Yeah,
Perfect.
we
They were
showed
late.
up. They didn't let us in the theater because we were black.
No, you were late.
Because we were black. And I was late. BA was actually on time for once. He was actually on time.
Then he took a bullet and went to see Divergent.
Yeah,
God bless him.
he did fall on the sword for us on that because the entire time, and you check it once again, Divergent to and from on the movie guys, not the hater guys, the movie guys.
And it's on your site too, right? You embedded
It's
it
on our site.
I love that you do to and froms because we started that format. We've done a couple, but you guys have done more than we have at this point.
Yeah, we want to do more.
Yeah.
It's very hard because we're not reliant. we're unreliable.
We had dinner together the other day, and he said the one thing you can count on from Hater Nation is they're not reliable.
Yeah, I already got text this morning from Ali. I got a wedding. I can't go on the show Saturday. B, I'm out of town. I can't go on the show Saturday. Well, fuck it. I guess I'm by myself.
Have a good show.
Oh, when does your show air? We should tell everybody.
Well, we record on Saturday nights. We record Saturday nights from Doggone Natural Studios in Leesburg and Ashburn, Virginia. They're our host studio. He's going to reach over. I'm talking to the camera. Camera like, red light. Cameraman, look at me.
I've become unstuck.
From Doggone Natural Studios. If you love organic, natural dog and cat food, check out Doggone Natural. Those are all boys.
God, I want to start doing that. I want to start having a sponsor that I have to talk about.
Gotta get sponsored.
Well, we do it every Saturday. Usually the shows are available Sunday night, but Jonas Mount, you go to Jonas Mount Radio. We're available noontime on Monday, so that's when it comes out. Noontime Mondays. Also, just come to us. Check us out, thehaternationshow.com. We're on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, all sorts of shit. If we're not on it, tell us. We'll get on it.
Cool thing about Jonas Mount Radio, I found out because our first show aired there last week, then he will then podcast the show. So you can go to your page on Jonas Mount Radio. And that's JONASMOUNT radio.com. And our last week's show is there.
We found out last week on the air that we were on that. It was very exciting for all of us.
I didn't tell everybody.
We were like, we are?
Yeah.
Is Jonas Mount the name of a place? Is that
a town or something?
That's his name.
It's the name of a very entrepreneurial guy.
Yeah,
Jonas
just
Mount
put
Radio.
he put a whole thing together. He's got talk, he's got sports, he's got all sorts of stuff.
Got good taste, apparently.
Yes, exactly, obviously.
And you can find us there Thursdays at 6 Eastern, 3
Thursdays
out
at
here
6.
on the coast. Now, I'm not going to lie. We don't have enough diversity in our guests here in the Showcast. This is nothing we do on purpose. We put out requests. People respond.
Really, Donald Sterling?
In
No?
50 shows. Oh, what do you make of that? What do you make of that guy?
Well, he's an idiot.
I don't think there's anything to make anymore. He's going to put it
There's
out
really
there.
nothing to make. Honestly, what we said on the Hater Nation show. Well, after we said on the Hater Nation show, this is a man an 81-year-old man who years ago, by the U.S. Department of Justice, not some old ragtag Judge Judy bullshit, the U.S. Department of Justice sued this man for racial discrimination, and the NBA did nothing about it. He's recorded saying he don't want his whore to hang out with black people. Like, honestly, I can step outside of here. I can step outside of Ashburn, Virginia, where Doggone Natural's there. I can step outside of Loudoun County. I can step outside of Virginia, the Mid-Atlantic, the East Coast, the United States, where there's guys who don't want their mama, their daughter, their sister, their grandmama, their auntie to hang out with black guys. So what exactly did Donald Sterling say that was so bad? Right now, I'm saying right now, what he said in this situation right now isn't all that bad. What he did before, that was bad, and he didn't do anything about it. But now because some whore records him,
it's just like
talking crazy talk at 81 years old. What old white 81-year-old man don't think that? I'd be shocked if he was like, I love black people. I'm like, there's something wrong with you doing experiments in your basement. I don't know.
It's like winning the Oscar for the next movie you make. That's what that is.
Yeah.
They should have gotten after him whenever he was completely at the height of his racism.
Yeah, when he was at the height, then trust me, I've heard firsthand some horrible things that this man has done in the past.
Oh, I heard that he would take women into the locker room and show off his men, the players, when they're showering, going, look how strong they are.
Same exact
look at their
thing.
bodies, how
glistening their bodies,
showing their teeth and shit. It was
showing,
weird.
Showing all their
buttholes are.
Yeah. All
Though as I said that, it kind of was hot.
Yeah.
But in a different way.
You're thinking
I was like, ooh.
I wish I was there.
You're thinking Tay Diggs in the shower and how Stella got his brood back. Listen, we need to get
now
some
that's
perspective.
a good black movie. Stella got her groove back.
Well, that's what I want to talk about.
Is it?
See, now, up till now, we've only been able to bring our lily white sensibilities to some of these movies out there, but you have a term called the BBM.
BBMs.
Right. And tell us what that is.
BBMs are bad black movies. Sometimes you watch a movie where the
entire wait. How are you using bad?
Bad. No, bad isn't bad. Not bad meaning good.
Because I just want to make sure I wasn't being out hip.
No, that's true.
Michael Jackson bad or
I don't know exactly what Michael Jackson bad was. I'm not exactly sure.
His bad turned a corner and became
light skin with a curl wearing leather. I'm not exactly sure what that is.
I'm sure it's not good.
He's got a new album out.
You know what? I give credit. I've heard a lot of the songs. It is nice.
Oh, yeah?
It's actually nice.
Well,
You're
it's
talking
like-
about Bruno Mars. He actually smacks Bruno Mars in the face, and he takes his crown back.
Oh,
it's
no
very
shit.
Bruno Marsy, but when you realize it's Michael Jackson, you're like, God damn, that's Michael Jackson.
Yeah, all the big producers came out to
it is
finish
really
up some of
nice.
his lost tracks.
It's some good stuff.
All right, well, listen, tell me if and you guys feel free. I got a list, but you guys can
great.
throw out some titles if you like. Tell us if these following movies are BBMs. And a little segment we'd like to call "Ask a Black Man."
Yes, and in fact, you know what? Guess what? You're asking half a black man. Just so y'all know. I know y'all were wondering.
Well, I won't finish any of my questions.
That's your porno
That's all we got.
Blackula.
All right, here we go.
You
This
just
is
searched black on your computer, and that's what came
Yeah,
up.
That's what came up.
Excellent.
I typed in black, and then that's yeah.
All right.
That and a picture of Yaphet Kotto. That's what
Ooh,
came up in my
that's
search.
black. You couldn't even see the screen and shit. You're like,
All right, so bad black movie or not? Lottery ticket.
Bad black movie.
Oh yeah.
Bad black movie. I mean, just the fact that they won the lottery. Like, isn't it one of those where is Brian Hooks in this movie? I'm not sure. I think Brian Hooks is in this movie. But they win the lottery and all hell breaks loose. Oh, that's my phone. My phone that says Hater Nation on it fell. But yeah, bad black movie.
And then what do you make of Bow Wow? Like he was Lil Bow Wow, now he's Bow Wow.
It is bad black movie. The fact that you put Bow Wow as your star in a movie means you're catering to the lowest denominator. Sorry, Bow Wow, you suck.
The Single Moms Club.
What's the single?
Tyler Perry's The Single Moms Club.
There you go. Thank you.
There you go. You have to leave
You put
that
the
out.
proper title on that.
Anything Tyler Perry?
Let me guess. He dresses an old black woman.
No,
Let me
he's not
guess.
in it. This
He's
is
not
one.
in
This
it?
is well, he's in it.
Oh,
but
then it didn't
he
do
plays
that
a
well.
guy.
It didn't do that well.
No,
It's a serious
he's not
one.
in it.
You know,
He's
it's
got
like
serious ones.
The moms are coming together to support each other. He's like a boyfriend in it.
spiritual.
Wait a minute. Is there a fat black woman in this movie who's sassy with an
Yes,
attitude?
and she's got a hot boyfriend that she normally in real life wouldn't
Ah,
have.
whatever.
Yeah,
That ain't
Terry
happening.
Crews. She would never get
She
on the
ain't
Terry
messing with no
Crews.
Terry Crews. You got to be crazy.
Belly.
No.
No.
Good black movie.
Really?
GBM.
Okay.
Who's in
The,
Belly?
the first 5 minutes, the scene where they're robbing the club and they're wearing the white, yeah. Steady, are you ready? That's nice.
I don't know that movie.
GBM.
Belly.
Check it out.
Yeah, we'll get
Nas,
I'm gonna write that down.
DMX. Check it out. Good movie.
Sounds like names of cars.
Shout
you
out to
can-
my boy CP. He loves that movie. He watches it every Memorial Day.
Now
Not in order.
tell me if this movie would be good. Tyler Perry's Belly.
That would be awful.
That'd be awkward.
All right.
Because now I'm thinking about the whole movie, how serious it is, and then suddenly there's like, what, Medea? Ooh, what you doing, baby? Eat my Popeye's chicken. Oh, that's a different sassy black woman. I'm sorry. We're getting all sassy black women mixed up.
What about Ghost Dad? Is that a black
That's just
movie?
a bad movie.
I don't know if that is a black
that a
movie.
black
That's
movie?
just,
Bill
that's just
Cosby
a
in it.
shameful movie. Bill Cosby should be ashamed of himself. That's when you have FU money. Like Donald Sterling has FU money where he can just say shit and just be get on talk to Anderson Cooper and be like, Magic Johnson has AIDS, and he just says stuff like that. That's FU money when Bill Cosby's like, I'll play Ghost Dad. Fuck it. I got nothing else to do.
How about Fat Beach?
Tyler Perry's Fat Beach.
That's such a bad black movie.
Based on a novel pushed by Sapphire.
Are the Fat Boys in that?
You can tell
No.
a bad black movie by the bad cliches and the bad script writing. They just gave up sometimes.
Soul
Sometimes they
Plane?
just yes. That set black
Is that
people back
bad?
50 years. After I walked out of Soul Plane, they hit me with hoses and sing German Shepherd. I went back in time. I went back in time somehow. I walked out and they were just like, "Go home, go home. Lights only fountains.
All
Lights
right,
only
wait,
fountains."
I have a question.
I'm like, what the hell is it? Time machine? Out
Is
here?
The Help a black movie?
The Help? Which one's The Help?
It's a white movie about black people.
Oscar nominated.
Where a white person helps the black
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
No, that's not because it's
Where
not
white
a-
people
it's
get
a-
to not feel guilty. because they help
Exactly.
black
Wait,
people.
is The
Exactly.
Color Purple a black movie? Because that's a great
That's a
movie.
you know what? Here's the problem, and I've always figured this out. There has never been a slave-based movie that's been reviewed poorly.
Oh.
No.
Never.
Oh.
And that's what
That's
the
a
Hater
good
Nation's
movie,
going to do,
though.
because we're going to make a real bad slave movie. Because either it's going to be the worst reviewed slave movie of all time, which will be the first, or it'll be a greatly reviewed slave movie, and then we'll become famous.
Because
One
it's
of
just
the
a
two.
slave movie, yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
just be a slave movie.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Do you think Medea would ever do a slave movie?
Medea's
Like
yeah.
Tyler Perry's Medea's slave
Oh,
movie?
master, you better not hit me. I'm going to get you.
Medea's Cabin.
Eat my chick. Oh, sorry, wrong black woman. Sorry. Keep getting the mix.
What about The Honeymooners? Remember they remade that with Mike
Yes,
Epps and
bad
the,
black
wow.
movie.
Yeah, that was just a bad
I never
idea.
saw it.
Why does the whole world got to be black? I understand the whole. Why can't we just look? I'm here, you here,
Yeah,
we
just
here.
the show.
We're just having fun. Why has he got? You go walk into the Honeymooners suddenly, just like what's the golf movie? What was the black
Bagger Vance?
What was Black Caddyshack?
Bagger Vance?
Oh,
No, no.
Black
The Legend
Caddyshack.
of Bagger?
Black Caddyshack.
No, Black Cat. No,
The
Bagger
Legend of-
Vance is another one of those movies where the old
Screwball.
The smart, old, wise black
teach
man.
me, black man, teach me, old sageish black man. You know, like Will Smith was playing the Morgan Freeman character because Morgan Freeman obviously don't know how to play golf. So they're like, well, let's put Will Smith in there because he kind of fakes it like he plays golf.
You know, you've got a good point though, because I didn't grow up. I grew up in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of fucking rednecks.
You were happy about that.
It was
You were happy
fabulous.
about
I
that.
loved
That's
it.
Bunch of rednecks.
And so I didn't know any black people firsthand. So not until I moved to Chicago did I meet black
Oh,
people.
you met a lot of them.
And I met a lot of them. And I would always listen and think
Except-
that they knew a lot of things I didn't.
Except if you watch Divergent, because Divergent is filmed in Chicago. Ain't no black
No
people.
black people.
Where'd all the black people go?
Like I would get
Be
on the
concerned, black people. Be
I
concerned.
would get on the bus on the way to work and just look at the woman driving with the long nails and think she's very wise. Because I didn't know any better. I just thought all black people were very
You
wise.
gotta think she's very ratchet. That's what you gotta think.
Are you
I've seen.
Who's Your Caddy?
Who's your caddy?
Caddy.
Thank
Jamie.
you.
Caddy? That's
Black
a fantastic
Caddyshack.
How could that
name.
be
Black
good?
Caddyshack.
Jamie. Well done.
Very well done. Well done. Good research there. She typed it in Google, Black Caddyshack, and Who's Your Caddy came up. Or Bad Black Movie, didn't you? What did you search? You searched Bad
Yeah.
Black Movie, and that was there.
Black golf
golf
movie.
movie.
Yeah, I was looking. I was like,
There's one. There's that one. You got that one.
I was like, golf. I got love and basketball. I got the cookout. What about? I got nothing.
Baps?
bad.
Do you have Baps?
I have Babs. Babs.
Boomerang.
How does Holly Berry get any kind of credit in this town is beyond me after Baps.
Because no one saw Babs.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
true.
what that is.
Exactly.
If they did,
But she gets busy with Billy Bob and wins an Oscar.
I like that.
Interesting. Yeah,
that's a good one, Lee.
I
What do
like
you
that.
got?
I liked
I like
it
that
too.
movie.
I like that one scene.
Boomerang.
Make me feel good.
How about Boomerang?
Good black movie.
A good
Yeah.
black movie.
I like Boomerang. Boomerang. You got David Allen Greer, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy. You got what? Johnny Witherspoon. You got a ton of great comedy. That's like Harlem Nights. That's like the new age Harlem Nights. Harlem
like
Nights.
that.
People, white people, don't be scared. Get Harlem Nights. Watch it.
Oh,
It's
wait.
funny.
Back in the day, I loved Mo Better Blues. I
I
love.
didn't like Mo Better Blues.
You didn't like? I love Mo Better Blues. That's a
What do
bad
you-
black movie.
I don't like watching jazz. I don't want to watch a movie about
Oh,
jazz.
I love that. Oh, I love the jazz aspect. Did you like all of the different Spike Lee movies? Like that really good one with the pizza place, Do the Right Thing?
She said
Did
the
you
really
like any
good
of
one
those?
with the pizza place?
I love that one.
I like Do the Right Thing. I mean, all of Spike's movies have a message, have something. You got to get around all the bullshit, and you actually can look at it and appreciate for what it is. But what are some of the other BBMs that we got there? I got to be careful not to say BBCs because that's something whole different. Y'all know what it is when you listen to Hater Nation.
Oh.
BBMs.
Okay.
Set it off.
Good movie.
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah.
I like
Women
Queen
Bank
Latifah.
Robbers. That's pretty decent. That was
Yeah.
a pretty decent. Even though Jada Pinkett's in it, and I don't like Jada Pinkett.
Leprechaun 2, Back to the Hood.
That's a black movie?
I don't know.
Back to the Hood. What list do you have? Let's see what Leprechaun 2.
I searched black golf movie. It came right up.
Leprechaun came up. It is Scottish or Irish.
And the point where we're trying to when we review, usually
You stuttering.
it's all white people in here reviewing a Tyler Perry movie, and sure, you can make fun of Tyler Perry movies because some of them suck.
Yeah.
Or
Some?
all of them
Well-
suck. But I always feel really bad as a liberal making fun of a black movie.
Oh, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's fun. You make fun of all movies. Any movie.
True.
If a movie's bad, a movie's bad. Don't be ashamed. Don't be scared to say Tyler Perry, you suck. Don't say it. I'm looking right at the camera too. Tyler Perry, you suck.
Now, does he suck,
Brian
or
Hooks, you suck.
is he just figured out how to make a
Great
shitload of
businessman.
money?
He's got the angle. He's figured out the angle that people will soak it up. Black people will soak it up because it takes them back to that time when it was like Shelley Garrett having the old stage, the old plays, Mama, please don't smoke crack, or Mama, please don't eat the government cheese, all that kind of stuff. It's this whole same idea moved into a movie. You put a whole bunch of black people in it, and you're like, oh, these people are recognizable. I want to see them because I don't see them anywhere else. Or if I see them anywhere else, they're the first one to die.
And doesn't he have
You
a
know?
stage show?
Yes,
That's
yes.
what-
and
he's
that's
got like
the
a whole
that was
enterprise.
the origin. That was the origin of that. So he moved that and kind
Brilliant.
of evolved it. It's brilliant, but in terms of an actual film and actual quality, it sucks ass.
Oh yeah, we've seen. I've watched one. I don't know what it is, where he's in a parking lot.
Oh, the
and
parking lot.
Yeah, and you can tell they didn't want to shoot this more than once from one angle, so they just put the camera on a crane, and they're just going to shoot the whole scene wide angle because they don't want to cut in. That's a whole nother day of setting up and lighting.
Yeah, we can't do
Yeah,
that.
and
We
they
don't got
just
that
use,
kind of time.
they use his voiceover.
Yeah.
Yelling at other drivers as he
Yeah.
Yeah,
20-minute shot.
The biggest question we all have about Tyler Perry is he gay?
You know what?
Not that it matters. I'm
Not
just
that it
curious.
matters, and
But
not
now
that it
we're
makes you a
curious.
bad person,
I'm
but
just curious.
I've heard things. And I've heard other things.
It would make
Should
it,
I
that's
feel
all I'm
more
gonna say.
guilty not liking his movies? That's what I'm saying. Should I feel more guilty?
I don't know.
he's a double minority.
I don't know. I can't prove anything, but I've heard a lot of stuff.
I secretly hope he is.
Now, here's an interesting thing. What do you think about now? What was that movie, Alex Cross?
I saw it.
Now, this is interesting because
I have better film on my teeth.
Thank you. That movie, first of all, was brought to you by General Motors. Did you notice that?
No, I never saw it.
oh,
You never saw it?
I think you're the only one in this room that's seen
I
it, Lee.
actually saw Alex Cross.
Yeah.
What bet did you lose?
Oh, man.
Who
Well,
tied you down and made you watch that movie? Jesus.
I may have been on a date. I'm not sure.
With who?
Yeah, it was one of your morning
What
movies.
date?
I don't
Yes.
think we were.
Probably
No,
a Russian
here's-
gymnast. That's
No,
how
it
he
wasn't.
rolls.
It was a $6 movie, so I figured I can't lose.
Oh, you
That's
no,
what it
you
was.
did.
Yeah.
You
It
did.
was.
You could have gave me that $6. I could have just punched you in the face.
The way I describe Alex Cross is: have you ever been in a classroom and you fall asleep and then you wake up 20 minutes later and the professor's talking about something completely different and you have no idea where things are? That's this movie without
you're
falling
being asked
asleep.
a question?
Yeah, and you're like, all of a sudden you're like, what the hell's happening now?
I'll describe it for you. You ever take a shit in really hot weather?
Watching Alex Cross is like taking a shit in really hot weather.
Really hot weather. It's like you're in the Nam. You're just sitting there and you're just sweating and you know the toilet paper is not quality, so you know it's gonna be exactly, or it's gonna rip through and your finger gonna touch yourself. And it's all sorts of bad. Then you gotta somehow zip your pants up because you're in a public bathroom. It's not like you can walk to the sink with your pants down on your ankles. So you gotta figure like, okay,
This is LA. You can if you want.
I got poo poo on my fingers, so how am I going to actually get my pants on? And there's people walking in like, hey, how you doing, MC? I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? The pants are on button. I got to wash my hands, and then there's poop coming off. You know, like when you wash your hands and your hands are dirty and dirt goes in the sink basin. Imagine when you're doing that and it's poop.
Wow, you've thought this out, dude.
This is a great review of Alex Cross.
So I think my point is he's not really that much of a draw on his own.
Cross, C.
But before we get to the next segment, so we have Think Like a Man 2 coming out later this summer. Will this be
Kevin Hart is the new funny black guy. Like everyone has their moment. Everyone has their time. Eddie Murphy.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah, but he's funny now.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to find another funny guy in 3 years, and you'll be like, Kevin Hart, who? You know, like, first it was
D.L.
Eddie.
Hughley.
D.L. Hughley was here for a
And
while.
then it
Steve
was
Harvey was there.
the words coming out my mouth. That guy. Who is that?
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah,
Right, it's only for a
remember?
couple years.
Yeah, I'm showing y'all the light.
Remember that guy that did the 7-Up commercials? The Orlando Jones?
Yeah.
He was like in movies for like 2 straight years and
Keep going,
then never
keep going.
again.
Who do you see? Martin Lawrence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, he did about 3-4 years of movies.
But they don't overlap.
They don't never. No.
It's pronounced
They pick a
Martin.
new one.
It's stop. Who's the next guy? Stop. Who's the next guy?
Wow.
Stop. Who's
Maybe
the next
we
guy?
could be the next.
What is the game show
black
called?
comedian.
$1 Million Black Man?
$1 Million Black Man, I guess.
You paused real quick for a second.
Next segment.
You want that liberal?
What did you see this week?
Hey, let anybody fill it in.
All right, a little something called
There we
What Did
go.
You See This Week? Before we get on to new movies we saw this week, I want to go back to one we covered last week and didn't talk about too much. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Adam went on a little rant about it, but we didn't get to talk about it too much. So I want to cover that real quick before we get on to another movie.
Okay, so everybody's complaining about this movie.
I wanted to get your back on that point. Did you see it?
No.
You didn't see that?
Anybody else?
Did I see it?
Spider-Man 2?
No.
Did not.
All right.
Any critics who were
Did I see it?
who were talking
No, okay.
about an underdeveloped plot line with the Rhino. I agree with you. Don't know how to watch movies.
Yeah, because it's there clearly as the first adventure that Spidey's doing, and then at the very end, you know, and he's back being Spider-Man, and they just start to battle as the Rhino. But it's really meant to be a stylistic bookend.
It's a bookend. Yeah.
So if you don't understand that, you're like, it's underdeveloped. Like, you don't know how to watch movies.
Yeah.
So every critic that says that, wipe them off the table. They don't count.
Yeah, it wasn't like having Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze and Two-Face or whatever all in your movie.
Exactly.
It was a little thing, and then we get onto the movie, and then we get back to it, a little callback.
And the too many villains thing, first of all, that argument holds no water because they've made X-Men movies. There's 10 villains in an X-Men movie, right?
Yeah, but I have to admit, in this one, it felt like we were done with the movie, and then, we got another guy we got to deal with real quick, deal with him, and then
You
we're
mean Green
done.
Goblin?
Yeah.
And by the way, with an X-Men movie, you have the X-Men. There's more than one of those guys, and you got the bad guys, more than one. So it's like a matchup.
Oh, okay. Well,
Spider-Man,
that's
it's
true.
always
That's a good
one,
point.
and then one, and then one, and they're always based on some damn animal all the time. Rhino, Dr. Octopus, Vulture. It's like, we get it. It's a fucking animal.
Well,
right?
you are punching holes in Stan Lee's genius. There might be a thing. Everyone's like, I can't believe you created all these characters. Did he, or did he just open an encyclopedia full of animals and go, all right, that one and that
He
one?
just went to the Ark and started picking out animals.
Can you see like Oscorp, the office? The guy comes in from R&D. He's like, we got something to stop him. You know, the outfit's like, what's that thing on his face? It's a rhino horn. Why? All right, skip that. What's that? You got wings, like a vulture.
Excelsior! It's the Badger Man.
Yeah,
that's his new thing.
Badger Man, Raccoon Man.
Now, the one thing that happens in this movie that always makes me laugh is there's always a villain, or often a villain, who has the formula that has yet to be tested on humans, and he's going to go ahead and do the test. The Green Goblin in the first one, and then the Lizard. It's so funny. It's exactly the same thing. But, I mean, I don't know. Is that a negative?
You're in New York. You can't find some stray dogs you can inject shit with? Just rats? There's rats everywhere. Just let's put it in and see what happens. Oh, shit. I ain't going to put that in my body. God damn. That's fucked up.
But the but the father plot line was a little shoehorned in. You know, the Harry Osborn. We're talking about Harry Osborn. His father shows up for a second, Chris Cooper, Norman Osborn, played by Willem Dafoe in the first one, and he's dying and he's got some disease, and he tells Harry, "You've got that disease, and you have to live with it." And he becomes obsessed with curing the disease as this alternate plot line, as this other B plot, and that's what turns him into the Green Goblin, along with some technology that the Oscorp was building.
Yeah, and so then when he shows up at the end, it's kind of like, well, we've dealt with Electro, but now, we got to deal with this guy. I didn't feel like it's leading up to this. I feel like, we got to deal with this guy now.
Yeah, they shouldn't have went Green Goblin, because what was really great was when Electro was fully Electro and the Oscorp gives him his suit, and he has like a supervillain suit. He shows up as sort of like the heavy behind Harry Osborn, who's telling everybody what's what, and he's got Electro behind him, like with electricity pulsing around him, and now he's this little dickhead who's been a little dickhead the whole movie. Now he's like a supervillain, dickhead, businessman.
Yeah,
he didn't need to turn into a
They
goblin.
could have had adventures for a while like that. It would have been interesting.
Yeah, I could have handled that for the rest of it.
And as ever, my fault with the Spider-Man franchise, too much crying.
Too much crying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not in the audience, but
They
the
won't
characters
let you know.
love to cry. We have this great opening sequence, and again, Mark Webb has found a way to make the Spider-Man movies advanced in the way he presents action scenes. The camera can go places and do things never before.
The best Spider-Man swinging in any of the movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. I saw it in IMAX, and the way he shoots it and everything, it's really like you could tell Mark Webb just wanted to be Spider-Man so bad, and he puts the camera on Spider-Man so that we get to swing through New York. It's really
it's POV
fun.
without being a gimmick. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of scenes with Andrew Garfield with the mask off? But
No,
still the costume?
no. They
Thank
clearly
God.
responded to that. He
Yes.
never took the mask off.
Thank you.
Like they clearly got that note. Like people complained enough that they're always ripping the mask off Spider-Man. No, he's in the Spider-Man mask most of the movie, which is joyous.
Marvel Studios, take a hint. Jesus. I know. I get it. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. We get it. We understand.
All right, hang on a second. We're inside the mask. It's different.
That's the genius part of the Iron Man, though. Yeah, is that the inside
I like that
camera
they
inside.
find a way to show me my Robert Downey Jr. without taking off the mask.
Yeah, but they take the mask off a whole lot. And Chris Evans. We
They
get
need
it.
to take his shirt off more.
Yeah, but Captain America.
Were we talking about Robert Downey Jr. having his shirt off? Is
Okay, MC,
Who talked about
you
that?
were
I
on
wasn't talking
you
about
were on a
that.
flight
I got
and
interested
you're staying at a hotel. What have you
Yes.
seen?
I saw Tropic Thunder in the gym.
Okay.
I watched on my flight. I watched Hunger Games 2, whatever that is, Catching Fire.
Yeah.
How is it? What's it about?
It's not that bad. I didn't leave the theater.
if you did, you would have died.
I know, exactly.
That's how they keep you.
No, it seemed it was more interesting. It seems like a lot of sequels are better than the original because the original you have to like kind of build this whole foundation.
You
of
have to
the
apologize
story.
for making the movie.
Yeah, you have to kind of apologize and build
Look,
up, and then it
sorry.
stops, and then it starts, and by the time it starts, it's over.
Yeah.
But this one actually kind of like jumps right into the mess. I'm not a real big fan of Jennifer Lawrence. I'm just not. I don't think I don't know if she's talented, but she's just not hot. And I review all my women based on their hotness, and she's not hot at all. But it seemed like a very interesting movie. I don't like the whole Pita thing. I don't like that guy. He's useless. But it was really interesting to see Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Making any movie better.
Exactly.
Sadly, that won't happen
made
anymore.
It better.
But
He made it better. Like the minute he gets on the scene, gets on the screen, you're like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. Like, please keep talking. Just keep talking, please. And then they went away, and it was Pita with his little midget self walking around doing something, being all sad because Thor's brother really likes J-Law, but J-Law don't know what the hell's going on. And then Kiefer Sutherland's daddy is doing all some bullshit. This is how black people like review movies.
Kiefer Sutherland's dad.
We don't name the actor. We name like something else around the actor, like Kiefer Sutherland's daddy. You mean Jack Bauer? You're like, no, his name is.
I can
Jack
relate
Bauer.
to that.
Jack Bauer was sitting. Jack Bauer's not in fucking Catching Fire. No, Jack Bauer daddy. Jack Bauer daddy was in it. and he was like, "You gotta do this and that and the other," and then she had to kiss Peter, and like it got really interesting. And then it stopped. Like, she had this weird smile on her face, and I'm not like, there's a revolution, there's not a revolution. It was fine. It was fine. It wasn't as bad as the first one. It caught me. I couldn't go nowhere. I was on a plane.
That's true. You also like
I was going like this, and nothing changed.
You like the movie as much as you like having to go take a crap in a little tiny room. Because you're on a plane. You can't really do anything about that.
I've done that. That's bad times, too. And I'm a big guy, too.
I
My
know.
knees hit it and everything. I'm like,
not good.
Yeah.
We saw last week, but didn't get a chance to talk about it. About Time.
Oh my God, I have written here Time's Up, Back in Time, because I couldn't remember.
About Time.
About Time.
About Time.
I had a note.
What's it about?
Yeah.
Oh, it's about time.
Time?
About time.
Clocks?
You know, it's about.
It's about an hour and a half.
It's
about 2
kind
hours.
of like sold as a romantic comedy, but it's really a story about a dad and his son.
Oh.
Yeah, Richard Curtis
You know?
made this, and he
Bill Nighy.
wrote
Yeah.
Notting Hill, and he wrote Bridget Jones' Diary, and he wrote and directed Love Actually. And so I think he's the guy who all rated R movies. So he's the guy who loves to make the romantic comedy, but it's for adults, decidedly.
Nice.
And so I always like these movies. 4 Weddings and a Funeral. He wrote that as well.
Very British. Is he British?
Yeah, he's totally
Very
British.
British. It was a British movie.
Well, you
If not,
forget
there's a
if you
trend.
think Love Actually is soft. I mean, don't forget this dude honed his chops on like Blackadder and all these great British shows.
Okay, gotcha.
So this was from him, but this one is
It didn't
where
have the
it
same
kind of
magic.
it didn't have the bite. It didn't have the friend. Like Karen wanted more of the folks
The
like who
weird
are
friends
surrounding
are the
our
best
hero.
part. Yeah, the guys who wear a shirt, fancy a fuck. Those are the great characters.
Yeah. Yeah, like Notting Hill had him, Bridget Jones had him. Certainly, her friends in that movie were just
Yeah, I want
nuts.
those friends that just show up in a little tiny car and there's so much personality they just stick out of the car.
You mean clowns?
They're kind of like clowns.
They hang out at a
They
circus.
really are.
So they romanticize the entire time travel thing, where the guy
was
learns he's a
alright.
time travel. All the men in his family are time travelers.
Up in a little
So he
car.
learns this from his dad. So he's going to go back and get the girl. You know, that's his whole way.
Yeah.
What would you guys do
To
if you had
try
to
and
go back in
remake
time?
A Perfect Life, right?
Oh, if I could go back in time, I would go back in time to Bill Murray when he was still on Saturday Night Live. And just, I don't know what I would do then. I would just stalk him and try to.
Like you would stalk him like he stalked people in Groundhog Day.
Yes.
You'd keep going
I
back
would-
in time to learn more about him and learn where he's going to be and say the right
You
thing.
know what's
and-
really odd? Could I be my age? Because if I went back in time to the age I was, it'd be really
No,
creepy.
you're a time traveler, so you're the same
Oh, yes.
age.
That's exactly what I would do then.
You don't want your 80s hair.
one
Don't
goes
bring your
back-
80s hair.
No one travels back in time and becomes younger. No one knows
Okay.
that. That's a horrible movie.
Oh, no, that's what I would do. I would do a Groundhog Day on Bill Murray.
Just have a plate of Coke back then, and you'd been fine.
Whatever it takes.
All my time travel fantasies are going back in time to see a movie fresh with an audience. Like, I always knew the ending of Psycho before I ever saw it. I always want to go and with that opening night audience to see Psycho with like a crowd for the first time and nobody knows the ending yet. That'd be amazing.
That's what you would do if you went back in time.
Most people
what am I gonna do?
would try to stop
assassinate,
Hitler.
Sarah
but,
Connor's kid?
all
Yeah.
right.
I wouldn't even do that. I'm just talking about some dirty stuff I do. Let Hitler be. I mean, yeah. I'd kill him, though.
You'd
Then
make
I'd
sure that you were
Then I'd go
friend-
do some freaky deaky stuff.
You'd make sure you were front and center at the Janet Jackson Super Bowl whenever she took it off the thing and showed her titty.
I would knock Justin Timberlake out the way, and I would
See?
do it. I would
That's what
rip
I'm
it and grope it a little bit, and then smile.
Cup it a little.
Yeah,
Cupping.
cup a little.
Gently cup it on TV and look at the camera.
Media is changing after this.
That was one of my favorite things that happened to the Super Bowl because then it was like 10 years of rock and roll, and that's my thing.
Less bullshit.
Oh, Adam,
more
real
rock
quick,
and roll.
your thoughts on Neighbors?
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought it had a incredible pace to it. I was impressed at how much that movie just wanted to deliver its premise and keep moving. And like the people move in next door, like 5 minutes in, 4 minutes in, like it really is just like instantly the plot is going. And I enjoyed it. Of course, it has friend of the show Ike Barinholtz in it. He gets a lot of jokes. He gets a lot of laughs, and that made me very happy. But I also liked all the like at first they became friends with the fraternity guys. I thought that was a really funny scene, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it just so any sort of monotony in the plot that you could imagine from the trailer, like, oh well, it's just gonna be back and forth the whole time. No, the first thing they do is go and make friends, and they party all night. And then they show up trying to look young and everything like that, and they offer him, he offers him some joints to keep it down or whatever, and he goes, and that's all the weed I have. It's really hard for me to get weed, like because he's just like suburban guy. But I don't know, there's a bunch. It keeps moving so fast. I really enjoyed that.
Funniest Nick
aspect
Stoller
of it.
movie because he made Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, it's funnier
5-year
than that.
engagement.
It's funnier than that.
Get him to the Greek.
Haven't seen that.
Okay.
But
That's
I've
a good-
heard
that's a funny-
Yeah, I've heard
funny.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I think that, I mean, as far as I know about Nick Stoller, I mean, he also has sequences where, like, this is the director of Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah, Edgar Wright.
He goes like totally
Yeah.
Edgar Wright with some sequences too, like when
Okay.
they get high, and he goes with all these like camera effects and stuff. And I don't remember seeing that in any other Nick Stoller film. So I don't know. It was like the movie was trying to entertain me like crazy, like it was like a girlfriend that had cheated on me or something. Like, hey, let's have fun. Hey, you having a good time? You having a good time? So I kind of enjoyed that aspect.
I like that. It's great analogy.
Cool. Well, let's wrap up the show we do every week with Karen's birthdays as she looks at the birthdays of those who make the movies. Karen, take it away.
All right, so we start off our week of birthdays by wishing a very happy birthday to the lovely Miss Deborah Winger, who turns 58.
Ouch.
Would you still? Would you still?
Yes, she should have been in Batman. She was supposed to. Wouldn't it?
Oh, is that right?
Oh no! Sean Young. Go ahead.
yeah.
Is it her
But
birthday?
It's not Sean
too?
Young.
Okay.
But Deborah Winger could play anywhere from extra hot to extraterrestrial. I learned a couple things about Deborah Winger while I was doing a birthday research on her. One thing I learned is that Paul digs older chicks. All right.
Back then,
Back
I was
then?
not the guy who was like into the Demi Moore and all that. I was into Kathleen Turner. I was into Deborah Winger. I like the women
All right.
more than the girls.
Well, get this. I think IMDb allows actors to write their own bios, and I think Deborah Winger might be feeling sorry for herself because in her bio, there's some pretty interesting adjectives. For example, it says she also made her feature film debut in the embarrassing softcore porn that had Slumber Party 57. I don't know if you know she was naked in that, but it's like a
No.
softcore. But for some reason, they wrote embarrassing. And I've read a lot of IMDb stuff, and I'm like, oh, all right, embarrassing. That's interesting. The word flop is used 7 times in it.
Whoa.
Also,
Is it describing the softcore porn, though?
it was a flop.
No, just
And then this,
things that happened in the softcore porn.
I think they're
Things
trying to
flop
be
around.
cute here, but she was followed up that with a forgettable comedy, Forget Paris.
Jesus.
That's
I'm
a
like,
good movie.
I
That's
thought
a funny
so too.
Billy Crystal movie.
And now, this is another one. And now, 40-year-old Deborah felt that when she turned 40, she felt that there were no more good roles for her, and she concentrated on motherhood. Or maybe she wasn't getting cast, and she's like making excuses. I'm telling you, this whole IMDb is like making excuses.
Interesting. Well, I never
And-
would have heard of that. It's an embarrassing movie unless she put it on the front of her bio.
And get this, the last line is the best one. It says, "Nobody can deny that Deborah Winger is one of the best American actresses ever. Her fans hope that Hollywood will finally reward her talent with a long overdue Academy Award." End of IMDb bio.
Wow.
I know, it's
Zing.
so crazy. So I just want to share that with you.
Deborah
So-
Zinger.
How many nominations
Is she
does she
crazy?
Clearly.
Didn't she show up at something recently
Dude,
that was kind of crazy?
There's a lot of stuff I didn't even mention where she fought with directors because she didn't think the director was doing a good job, and then the movie was another bomb, and so she blames everybody. Like, all these things, if anything's a bomb, it's because of the director.
Wow.
I don't know. And they also said a couple of times that she was very hard to work with. I don't know.
Bogus.
3 Oscar nominations? Yeah.
And then she hasn't been in a movie in how long?
Exact. Because of motherhood, she chose to. Sure. Okay, next up, let's wish a happy birthday to a guy whose career just keeps getting hotter. Happy birthday to Mr. Danny Trejo, who turns 69 but can play anywhere from ex-con to icon.
Orderly.
Right? Danny Trejo has been very interesting in life. As we all know, he's been in prison, and that actually helped him get his acting career started. But they say that every actor has a type, and we all know his type. And there's also unintentionally, he's been kind of typecast as, can you guess? Not a prisoner, not a
Mexican
cholo.
badass.
How about it's the guy who gets killed?
Oh, yeah.
He has died in movies over 36 times.
Awesome.
So there's a compilation I found online of
Oh, yeah.
him dying. You can just listen to a
yeah?
tiny bit of this, but it cracked me up.
What kind of dude are you?
He gets hit by a bus or a truck, a car.
I'll just let this play under your thing.
All right. On average,
I was going to say bartender. I have seen him play a bartender more than get shot and killed.
I just
Really?
heard some crushing
Always
swearing.
behind. He's always behind the bar.
well, that's because then he eventually gets shot. On average, he makes about 4 movies a year, and 1 year, he made 9 movies. Here he is getting shot. And falling. Now, we're going to have to stop playing that clip because I have another clip that my boyfriend Iron Man has said. Here's Robert Downey Jr. talking about Danny Trejo.
And what about Danny Trejo? Has that guy ever turned down a part?
No.
That's him saying no. Now, we know that he's made tons and tons of movies, but I challenge you to name. I have 4 pages of movies.
Oh, I can do this.
Can you name at least 5? I have 5 pages of movies.
I got 5.
Can you name at least 5 that he's been in?
Anchorman.
Spy Kids.
Okay, Spy Kids, yes. Spy Kids 2.
Dawn Till Dusk.
Okay, yeah, I have that one highlighted.
He was in
Heat.
Anchorman.
Heat.
Okay, that's
Is he
good.
an Anchorman?
Yeah, I think he's the bartender. And
Yeah, he's a bartender.
Oh, that's right.
at the end when Ron's
Alright.
down and out.
I mean,
and Machete.
5 pages. Yeah, Machete.
Machete 1 and
Machete
2.
Kills, yeah.
He was in Desperado.
Yes, Con Air.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Con Air.
Anaconda.
That's right.
Oh, yes. Called The
Right.
Salton Sea.
Wow, I haven't seen that in a long time.
That's a
That's a
great
good movie, isn't it?
He was actually the body in The Big Chill. He was the guy in the coffin.
So anyway, the point is pages of movies that man has
I get that
made.
reference.
And you got Deborah Winger pissed off because 40-year-olds can't be in movies, so I just thought they were funny together. And last up, let's wish a very happy birthday to Mr. Steve Winwood, who I love. He turns 58.
Cinema's Steve Winwood?
Yes. Adam, you say that now. He turns 58, but he can play anywhere from the guitar to the violin. Steve has 83 soundtrack credits on his IMDb for films like Notting Hill, Rush, Striptease, and Sergeant Bilko.
And Iron Eagle. Come on.
And Iron Eagle.
No shit.
All right.
Give me some lovin'. Was it
There
Iron
you go.
Eagle?
Give us some lovin' in Blues Brothers, right?
Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle. But did you know that Mr. Steve Winwood is also an actor? Yes, he's acted in exactly 2 movies, unlike Danny Trejo. He was
one more than me.
Exactly, right? He was in 1995's Balto. He played a balladeer. And just to make things fun,
It's animated.
Yes, animated movie. He was uncredited, but then again, credited in IMDb.
We just knew it was him.
Right, we just could tell. However, we have a clip, and I'm going to play a clip for you, and I want you guys to guess what movie he is in this clip.
Okay.
Blues Brothers Band.
Oops.
Look at them. Bunch of wannabe players. How good's a mess like that gonna sound anyway?
Hey, man, don't worry about it. We're gonna smoke them turkeys.
I wasn't aware the first line gave it away.
Break into Electric Boogaloo.
All right, this is a movie that is to remain nameless.
Oh, yeah.
He
I was
was
going to say, I
in-
don't fucking recognize that line. And they said the fucking words Blues Brothers in it. So I can guess what piece of shit this is.
because, Lee, you know how much I love hearing celebrities sing.
It's true. People ask me, can you tell me 2 things about Karen? And I say she loves to hear celebrities sing, and she's natural blonde.
Natural blonde,
Turns
everyone.
out,
It turns out.
I buy that 100%.
And because I love hearing celebrities sing, and because I love the great Steve Winwood, and because I like Adam.
No,
We are
don't-
going to
don't say
listen
the name.
to
Just don't say the name.
Give Me Some Lovin', but from the original Blues Brothers movie
Oh,
that
thank
Steve
you.
Winwood wrote, sung by the great Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
Thank you.
So happy birthday, Steve Winwood.
And thank you for saying the movie that shall remain nameless. I'm very proud that except for that one show where I
Right.
did mention,
We can't talk about it.
it really has been erased from history. So thank you.
When I saw that Steve Winwood had been in 2 movies, I'm like, oh, which ones? And when I saw that, I went, shut up. I'm like, well, I was
We
going
can't
to do
talk
them
about that.
anyway, but
What
we
the
can't
hell?
talk about it. I must be getting mail.
Did you get any mail? Lord, I thought I shut all that down.
I did too.
Hey, that's our computer. Well, that wraps another movie showcast, everybody. Follow us on Twitter at The Movie Guys and on Facebook at facebook.com/TheMovieGuys, as well as on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Vine, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that shit. Thanks to MC from the Hater Nation. The
Co-collaboration.
TheHaterNationShow.com to read all about them and, most importantly, hear their show. And at The Hater Nation at Twitter. That's how we first chummed up and became my buddies.
Yep.
So
Very
do
cool.
that. And catch us both, of course, on WBAD.net and JonasMountRadio.com. Any other plugs? You got something coming up when you get back?
Yeah. May 22nd for you folks in the DMV, Fernando Mico, award-winning indie filmmaker, Ever After Scene X, will be doing a special screening of it at the Angelica, May 22nd, hosted by MC of the Hater Nation.
Nice. Okay.
We also, the Hater Nation also does a cameo in the movie We All Die.
Oh, just like Danny Trejo. Be proud.
Exactly. We're very proud of our death scenes.
Thanks to Jamie Clark Elvington for watching the board, providing stats, pointing out mistakes. We need that. And Steve Scholes for his writing contributions to the show every week. And remember, you can always find everything we're up to at themovieguys.net. We'll be back next week with a great new guest, and we'll talk X-Men and, if time remaining, Blended.
Oh, my God.
There we go.
Blended.
Review X-Men. I'm off to watch Godzilla movies.